Hello, my name is Osman, and this is my AI project, Chatbot Meal. It is basically tries to get the best match for the user, uh, prefers a meal for that user with respect to uh, calorie consumption per that user per meal. So aim is to provide a preferred meal for the user. So to do that, I define some concepts like low carbohydrates, high protein, vegetarian meats, fish, breakfast, and meal. So meal is no preference at all. So these concepts are for both user type and the meals type. So my purpose is to tag person, so the user, if he or she is for example, a meat guy or a fish guy, if it's a vegetarian or not, and the meal should be within those tags. So to do that, I get some data, but the data is collected by hand, so it is so limited. I tag by hand, so the meal is the food and the meal is pre-tagged. So in the chatbot tries to tag a person uh, with respect to the conversation with it. So the program flow is first getting an input as height of the user, weight of the user, age and gender. So I will use these input to calculate body mass index and basal metabolic rate of the user. So I will use that information to determine the user's meal calorie consumption per meal. So the reason for this calculation is that we don't want to give a person who's overweight and a meal preference that is too much calorie in it. So not giving a burger for an overweight people. So I will do this calculation for this, and within the conversation I will try to get the chatbot try to get the preference of the user. For example, if he is or she vegetarian, low carb, or no meat, no uh, high protein, etc. So this is the program flow, and I use Python and NLTK for this implementation of chatbot. NLTK has a chat module. It is a pretty easy to use. It uses regular expressions to get matched keyword in text. As I said earlier, data is collected by hand, so it is too limited. Uh, Also, concepts that I mentioned can be improved more. And for future work, in my report, I also mentioned that the chat module can be improved more. So the implementation of chat part can be done with to get a second step information. For example, getting an information from the user and then asking new information with respect to that earlier information. So this can be also done for future work. So this was my presentation. I will show you the demo. So the demo is here. So I'm actually, this is my code, this is the conversations, and this is my calculation of BMR and getting an input, calculation, BMR, BMI, and the other classification. So I'm trying to classify the person type as a calorie consumption. So it's done here. So let me execute this one. It is okay. It says welcome food bot. We will ask some question about you and your diet. Then I'll try to find the best food for you. Let's begin. It says enter your gender, weight, height, and age respectively. So gender is in that type, weight is in kilograms, height is in centimeter. So if I give an input like male with 85 kilograms and 175 centimeters and age is 25, so it calculates but basal metabolic rate, which is 1780. So this is a person, if sits all day, this will be the calorie consumption per day, and this is the BMI. So this is an overweight meal. This will be an overweight meal, so it will be like 300 calories per meal, I guess. So let's see, what kind of food would you like to eat? We can say I am a vegetarian. It gives that you ask for a vegetarian meal. Would you like to eat chickpea salad, which is 300 calories? Let's say no. So it says, what kind of food do you like to eat? So let's say I would like to eat fish. Okay, and it says you ask for a fish meal. Would you like to eat salmon, which is 240 calories? Let's say no again, and I would like to eat some meat. And it says you ask for a beef meal. Would you like to eat T-bone steak? Let's say yes and see the answer. Yes. I'm glad that we found a match for if you want subscribe, please as well. Okay. That asks I want to eat, what was that? Protein. Let's say. You ask for high protein meal, and this is the high protein meal, which is 175 calories. So and so forth. The chatbot is like this. You give text and it try to match keyword. For example, here it's protein or meat or fish. So if it match, it will give a prompt. So for the future work, this can be a second step. There can be a second step questions that can try to get more intellectual information from the user. So this is all. This is my project. Thank you very much for listening.